This is something that I've said to Kevin before. I'm completely stealing from him, but something that Kevin said to me in my very first ever meeting with the facilitators was to be intuitive about what the space has to offer that day. And that's been the lens that I have completely approached the work with. So I guess that would be my main message, is just to go with the flow and try new things. Yeah.
It's a very mindful message, right? You know, so many of us come in with expectations or agendas or project plans, and the beauty of having that, not just the permission, but also opening yourself up to just experience what is, and to be in that moment and to make the most of that moment is in itself a bit of a gift in the society that we live in these days, that is so driven by, you know, agendas and expectations. And, you know, anyway, it's just I just wanted to comment on what a lovely concept and a lovely statement that is, because I've heard so many of the kids talk about this as I've had the opportunity to talk to them, just around, you know, the lack of expectation to be perfect, to have it right. You know, there's just like this unconditional acceptance, which is beautiful, right? To just be in the moment, to just to accept and appreciate and to allow whatever unfolds to unfold is a real gift. And it is a bit of a different message than these kids, the kids we're working with, all kids in our society often are hearing on a daily basis. So thank you for sharing that, because I think it's a beautiful gift that we're giving the kids and we're giving each other in that space.
Addresses that fear in the kids. Like, you know, there are times when, like, I see in my daughter, she's 6-year-old, and she says, oh, what if I make a mistake, if I can't read it well? What if people, like, when she dresses, she would say, oh, what if people laugh at me? What if my hair is not? So there's, at that age, you feel like, why there's so much, you know, fear of being judged. So like that, creating this space where, like, you do not feel that, okay, I'll be judged on what would people think about me, right?
Yeah. I invite, the message for me is like, I want to invite and make the children feel like you are welcome with your own style, and let me help you to polish that style. So, and they own that, the personality, what they bring, because that strength make them feel like welcome. You know, they belong to a group where we value their own point of view and style. So we never talk about mistake when you're making art. You are talking about find your style.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I think about expectations a fair bit in the context of the work that we do as well, that you know, expectations often lead to disappointment. In fact, I'm pretty sure that disappointment requires some sort of expectation. Not sure if you can experience disappointment without an expectation in the first place. And mistakes are a strange concept, especially when you're engaged in an artistic activity. So, I mean, one attitude could be that as soon as you've made a mistake, it actually just becomes an authentic thing that happened. You know, it's something that you almost are forced to embrace. It's something that becomes almost necessary that it happened. And quite often, mistakes or failures, if you want to call them that you might perceive as being something that has happened to you, is actually an invitation for you to try something different in the future. So it's part of a process that's necessary. And all of the kids that I've ever worked with, they've heard me ramble on about how successful people, regardless of how we measure that, are people who have made countless mistakes. And they're the ones who had the bravery, let's say, or the courage to make those mistakes. And if you don't make those mistakes, then it's hard to find a path forward where you can face the challenges that you're inevitably going to have to face.
And I'd like to add something there, because the education system, you know, push the kid to go in a rhythm that is very accelerated. and the small kid is hard to, go in that rhythm. So they fall, and the self-confidence as a learner and a student is slow because the pressure. So that is important. And my message is slow down, learn to resolve problems, the challenges, you learn from the mistake, and that give you, the tools and the confidence when you turn in a teenager to learn how to, to resolve challenges. And there is a beautiful word in Spanish. It's called that I love it. It's called ralentizar. It mean slow down the process. And I think that is what we are doing with art, in our resilience project.
Slow down the process. I like that. I always quote the same quote, but it's a Meister Eckhart, who I think was a 13th century Christian mysticist, said that the purpose of music is to quiet and sober the mind, thus making it susceptible to divine influence. That is the activity of like, that's if there is a reason, 700-year-old reason, it's to slow yourself down and to become mindful of the present, to really truly experience it.
Yeah. Wow, so many wonderful lessons coming out from your experiences today. I really appreciate you allowing me to be a part of this discussion.